MiniWarGamer Dave here from MiniWarGaming.com. Welcome, Wargamers, to another Rules You Got Wrong. This video is in response to the battle report that I have against Jordan, the Imperial Guard versus Blood Angels. Now, for those of you who are thinking, where the heck was the pie at the end? Here's the pie. As promised, pie play challenge. This almost went in my face 2 seconds ago. That's just not going to happen today. But before it goes in someone's face, I'm going to...
It's my whipped cream.
Oh, it's yours?
It's gonna be. It's gonna go. I love Cool Whip. It's tasty stuff.
It's not bad.
Oh. Tastes like defeat, but in this case, defeat is, it's tasty.
Did you say tastes like defeat, as in like da feet, if you're saying feet like an orc? Tastes like feet? That's gross.
Some of us like weird things, Dave, okay?
I like looking at your face right now. Is that weird?
Probably not, because I probably look pretty silly right now.
Good. Pie play challenge. Challenge me to a pie play game. Challenge this pie in your face. There was a bit of a technical difficulty with that. It looked right on the computer and rendered improperly. That's what happened. That's all I need to say. No further explanation is needed because the footage didn't get lost, and that's the important thing. So you saw it there, and if you're not watching this video, then watch. That doesn't make sense. I'm telling you to watch another video if you're not watching this video, so you can go and see it somewhere else. No sense whatsoever. But in the event that you want to, you can watch part 5 of the real battle report once again, and I've replaced the post so that the real pie plate is at the end. Anyway, I'm going to read off some comments here and some questions that people have in response to this battle report. Now, this is a very interesting battle report because there seem to be quite a few rules that were debated and that were overlooked or missed or misinterpreted or whatever. And once again, I make this video not as a haha you are wrong and I'm proving you wrong, but more as of an informative video for those who would like to learn the game better and just play the game better and do things right. And I do this in a more serious tone. I'm by no means ticked off. I've seen comments like, "Oh man, Dave looks ticked." I'm really not ticked. I'm just simply doing it matter-of-factly. And this isn't room to be zany right now, okay? This is a time to be serious. So, Reps01 says, you can only have 1 Melta gun for every 5 Assault Marines. 9 in a squad equals 2 Melta guns. And then you also say, well, he says 9 in each squad, but I think there are actually 10. Let me give you a little bit of context. This game was rushed from the get-go. We had an X amount of time to play the game and an X amount of time to finish the game. And I had about 2 minutes to create a list in Army Builder. So if I did put 2 Melta guns in a 9-man squad, that's incorrect. It's absolutely incorrect. Shouldn't have done that. But there were some squads with 10-man squads. So it's possible, I don't remember offhand, and the footage doesn't tell me. So it's possible that there was 1 9-man squad and the rest were 10-man squads, and I just said that they were 9-man squads. Or it's possible that they were 9-man squads and I put 2-man squads in there illegally. Whatever the case may be, we all know that the real rule is for every 5 Assault Marines you get 1 Melta. So there should have been 10 in order to get 2. If there was 9, that's incorrect. I shouldn't have done that, if I did it. I can't remember. Balon gas. The units don't get cover from the Lehman Russ ordnance shot because you don't check from the weapon. You check from the center of the plate. And then this is what Digilante said in response to Balon gas. It is a common mistake, Balon gas, but you're thinking of ordnance barrage weapons. The Russes are just ordnance. Dave, if any part of your model is obscured for any reason by anything, it is in cover. The book even says this is intentionally generous. That's correct. Ordnance weapons, if I'm in cover and I'm shot with an ordnance weapon, I get cover. If it's ordnance barrage, it's a different story. It's totally different. It was an ordnance. Battle cannon, I would know. Daffy has a battle cannon. Trust me, you get covered. It sucks. Digilante, when you reroll your scatter dice, you reroll everything, including the distance dice. This is in response to the Griffin, the weapon that he shot at me with, and he got to reroll just a scatter die. And on page 2 of the rule book, it says, you must reroll every dice unless otherwise stated. So, if that were the case, you would be absolutely correct. But in this case, it was otherwise stated. In page 52 of the Imperial Guard Codex, it says, under accurate bombardment, for Griffins only, when a Griffin fires its heavy mortar, the controlling player can re-roll the scattered dice, if he wishes. So he was able to do that. Vichy Sois. I don't know how to say it, I'm sorry. I'm just saying what I think. In response to Balon gas, I think you're confusing ordnance with ordnance barrage. Plain old ordnance still grants a cover save. And a rust battle cannon is ordnance. Okay, so this is going back to the other comment, and this is just somebody reaffirming that. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe Mephisto can join a unit or have people join him. He's a loner. And then Wizard V12222 says, in response to Vichy Sois, I'm just going to say your name like that, I don't know how to pronounce it. This is correct. Page 48 of the rulebook, independent characters are not allowed to join a unit that always consists of a single model. You're right. So I did this. I didn't know the rule offhand, I couldn't remember it, and so I did this. So it was illegal. Shouldn't have done it. Did it make too much of a difference in the game? Probably not. The guy was still within 6 inches of me, I still would have given Feel No Pain. We'll talk about that later, because there was some Feel No Pain's roll that I didn't make that I should have. Power Ranger. How can your... Both of you say Mephisto wrong, OMG. Ma-fis-tone, LOL. Well, the way I say that, I say Mephisto because it's like Mephisto. Blood, angel, devil, death, Mephisto, Mephiston, Mephiston, whatever. It's just a short way of saying it. Don't make fun of me because I speak English. Gee, whiz sauce. I say that kidding, I know, whatever. I don't really care. I know there's many different ways of saying it. Beware of Tom. Forgot Red Thirst on the Libby Dread. Imperial Librarian Dreadnought. I think he has it anyways. He has the Red Thirst. If I didn't roll for it, then I forgot. But he does have it, you're right. And the Red Thirst gives him Furious Charge. If I make it. If I roll a die and it's a result of 1, I get to give him Furious Charge. Beware of Tom says, Mephisto cannot be joined by independent characters. He's a unit of 1. Okay, so this is just going back to the comment before. Yes, you're correct. Emo Angels. Wouldn't Mephisto get a Feel No Pain save from the battle cannon? It's not AP2 or double Mephisto's toughness. That's absolutely correct. If I forgot it, it's my fault, right? And the other player doesn't know to correct me. So if that's what happened, then I missed out. I missed out on the rule. But that's right. I should have made my Feel No Pain roll, but I didn't. Noi75. Dave, I don't want to be rude, but every time I watch one of your videos, I cringe. A battle cannon is Ordnance 1, meaning that it comes straight down like an orbital bombardment. Your guys from the first round of shooting from the first Lehman Russ wouldn't receive cover. Mr. Noi75, I hate to inform you, but you are wrong, my friend. You absolutely are wrong. You're thinking of Ordnance Barrage. Lehman Russ, battle cannon. It's the exact same weapon that Defi has. If there's anything I know in the Warhammer 40k universe, it's the weapons that Defi has or doesn't have. Because I keep close track, you know. He's got to come home at a certain time every night, and I got to make sure he's in bed at a certain time. He does have curfew. He breaks it sometimes, but that's a discussion for another day. Bucket says, Zamgsung 11, if a vehicle gets double immobilized, it gets wrecked. Drop pods are always immobilized. Okay, so basically you're saying that if a vehicle gets double immobilized, then it's wrecked. This is incorrect. Rulebook, page 61 says, after immobilized, it goes to weapons destroyed first. Then, if there are no weapons left to be destroyed, then it's wrecked. So, page 61 of the 40k rulebook. Refer to that if you don't believe me. But if you do believe me, then we're all happy, and we don't need to argue any further, because arguing isn't good for anyone. Slick76. You should have gotten extra D6 to penetrate armor from the Melta shots, Dave. If I was within 6, then I should have gotten an extra D6. I don't remember offhand, but that is the rule for Melta. And so if I didn't, then I forgot. So it's my fault, right? Vigilante. Dave, remove your casualties from the front to get out of rapid fire range. Now there's reasons why I don't do that sometimes and I do that sometimes. I would guess that the reason why I didn't do that was because I knew that, well, I hoped to survive the round of shooting so that in my turn that I can assault them, I'd be closer to them. Yes, I do have jump packs and I have greater distance, and he probably wouldn't have assaulted me because he's guard and he doesn't typically assault. But you're right in that you should take away guys from the front lines so as to deny your enemy assault distance. But that just wasn't the case in this video. Chalk cake. No armor save equals no feel, no pain. See, saying a statement like that is very general and at the same time very specific. So basically what you're saying is if you don't get an armor save, then you don't get feel, no pain. So as to not confuse anyone, I need to clarify that because that's very important. And feel no pain is one of those rules where it's debated over because it's clear after you read it about 10 times. It's one of those rules, okay? So page 75 of the 40K rulebook explains feel no pain. And it says that if you are shot at with an AP1 or AP2 weapon, or you're hit with a power weapon, or if you're hit with a weapon that you would never be able to get a save from, i.e. a power fist, or dangerous terrain roll that's failed, things like that, then you don't get to make your feel no pain. So it specifies after it says any weapon that is shot at you that you would never be allowed to save. And so I thought about this, okay, and this makes sense. If I'm shot at with a weapon, let's say I'm a Space Marine, my weapon is 3, and I'm shot at with an AP3 weapon, and the strength is not double my toughness. That's one of the other criteria, by the way. If it's double the toughness, instant kills me, I don't get my feel no pain. Then, if I don't get my feel no pain, then nothing would ever be given feel no pain if it negate their save, and it wasn't AP1 or 2. Think of like Gaunts and their, what are they called? Tervagants. I give them feel no pain, and I shoot them with, a bolter. Then they wouldn't get feel no pain. That would have to be correct if that were the case, right? But it's not correct. So if I'm shot at with an AP3 weapon and it's not double my toughness, I get feel no pain. That's just the way it works. And the reason why I say that confidently is because of the reason why I just explained. It would negate everything with feel no pain. Nothing would be able to, and even Terminators, you would have to have an armor value of 1. You would have to have a armor save of 1 for it to always work in your favor, if that were the case. I hope I'm making myself clear here. AP1 or 2, not the case. Anything else other than that goes, except for the other criteria that are explained on page 75. Spent a little bit too much time on that one, but we'll go on. Steel Mage, 99. Drop pod. Is that pod placed within 1 inch of an enemy model? It certainly looks like it. So from that comment, I'm going to assume that it wasn't sarcasm, because if it was, then that's funny, right? I got a good laugh out of it. But if it wasn't, I need to clarify it, because it's suggesting that if my drop pod was placed within 1 inch of an enemy model, then I would have to roll on the mishap table. But page 32 of the Blood Angels Codex says that, under the drop pod entry, it says that I have this thing called inertial guidance system. And it says, should a drop pod scatter on top of impassable terrain or another model, friend or foe, then reduce the scatter distance by the minimum required in order to avoid the obstacle. So I'm able to move up to things and pretty much not scatter. Unless it's off the table, that's a different story, mishap, right? But if I'm in the middle of the table, then it's fine. But if you're talking about me actually moving the model like closer than 1 inch, then that's obviously not allowed. But I don't think that would be the case, because I gotta, get out of the drop pod.